My name is Peter Banki. I'm Director of Erotic Living. I've worked in the field of sexuality for about a decade. I've hosted festivals all over Australia. I've taught in Europe in several locations. And I've worked with a lot of different people, including some very famous people around the world. And I've known Christiana for about a year, maybe a year and a half, and I absolutely would recommend for you to work with her because she's very, can I say, she walks the talk. She's someone you can trust, someone who is very serious about what they do, is very knowledgeable, and above all understands the value of pleasure and the value of play, and why so much of this work is about pleasure and play. And she brings that Brazilian, joie de vivre that the Brazilians especially have, that even the French are envious of. So I can't recommend her more highly. And her work is specifically about embodiment. A lot of it is about the relationship between embodiment and pleasure. She works with different modalities, particularly sexological body work, but she's also done some serious training with consent and the consent lab. So I think there's a real commitment to doing the work in a healing way rather than in a chaotic and dangerous way, which is definitely possible, let me tell you. So how can you do the work carefully, safely, with a healing intention, but also with a certain spirit of joy and play and lightness? So yes, she had a miserable sex life for about 20 years. She decided she wanted to do something about it, so she went on a big journey, and it ended up, as is very often the case, in becoming a professional in the field, because it's the people who have struggled who then want to become healers and who want to share what they've learned with others. And I mean, it's also true for me. I mean, I struggled with sex a lot and also became fascinated by it, and learned that that by sharing sexuality and breaking down a lot of the taboos and the shame that we have around it, we can actually be freer and happier and in a way, I would say, more trustworthy individuals, because we're acknowledging these parts of ourselves that others don't. You cannot teach anything you don't have already experienced in your body. I mean, this is really a yoga principle, that you can't teach what you haven't experienced. And I think that that's also the way that we approach what we're doing. I'm not going to share anything with somebody if I can't validate it from my own experience.